This is a second stimulus check update. In this video, we'll go over the good news that President Trump said yesterday in an interview in regards to the second stimulus check and when we could actually expect to see a second stimulus check. We'll also go over some other updates in this video. First, I want to address a question that I've been getting on my channel a lot. So Bobby Lee Glowek asks, are people with SSI getting this second check? So I've been getting that a lot. Do people with SSI, SSDI, are they getting a second stimulus check? So according to the HEROES Act that passed in the House, according to that legislation, which is the closest thing to a stimulus check, it says if the second stimulus package is approved, you should fully expect to receive a check if you are currently SSDI or SSI. But the second stimulus check has not been 100% approved yet, which means that there can still be changes to it, and some senators do not want SSI or SSDI to get a second stimulus check. So for example, Senator Pat Toomey from Pennsylvania says a senior citizen who is a retiree didn't have a reduction in their Social Security check because of the pandemic, and yet that person still got the $1,200 stimulus check. Then he says, let's remember there's no free lunch. All of this is either borrowed money or created money, and either way, Americans are going to pay the price for this. So I think that this is extremely disrespectful of Senator Pat Toomey. I find it despicable of Pat Toomey to assume that senior citizens and retirees are able to live off of $700 or less a month and think that that's okay, that they don't have other jobs that got affected or severely struggled throughout the pandemic. He disrespected an entire generation that dedicated decades of their life to contribute to the economy, to pave the way for younger generations such as myself, as well as my daughter's generation. Let me know what you think about this down in the comments below. I truly believe that SSI, SSDI do deserve second stimulus checks, as well as veterans who risked their lives to protect our freedom. Those three groups, SSDI, SSI, and veterans, should get their stimulus checks in the front of the line rather than waiting to the back of the line like they did with the first round of stimulus checks. And how could someone like Pat Toomey relate? He has a net worth back in 2018 of $2 million, and he's making $174,000 a year along with the rest of the other senators. They have no idea what it's like for the rest of Americans to struggle throughout this pandemic. And how could senators relate? So pandemic causes food prices to spike throughout the nation. With someone with a six-figure salary and multi-million-dollar net worth, how are they going to feel the effects of food spikes? It doesn't matter to them. They're still able to eat no matter what price the food goes up to. And another issue that senators don't have to deal with is that the coronavirus rent freezes are ending and a wave of evictions will sweep America. So it is estimated that anywhere from 20 million to 28 million American renters are close to eviction. And according to Harvard's Joint Center for Housing Studies, 20.5 million families already struggle to scrape the rent together, and only 1 in 4 eligible renter households received financial assistance. Around 60 to 70% of Americans are living paycheck to paycheck, and with eviction moratoriums ending now as well as till the end of the month, that means millions of American families are going to go through the eviction process and potentially go homeless unless something is done. There's enough evidence to prove that we need a second stimulus check, and we need it now. Yet, with all of the mounting evidence, there are still senators who are against a second stimulus check. For example, Mitt Romney says that the next stimulus check is unlikely. Mitt Romney has a net worth of $250 million. Lindsey Graham says, I'm not enthused about another round of rebate checks. Lindsey Graham has a net worth of $969,000 in 2018. And there are also Democrats who have spoken out about a second stimulus check as well. For example, Senator Debbie Stabenow from Michigan, she says, one-time payments are not what people need. What people need is a paycheck. They need ongoing income until this is done. That's what they need. Well, of course, people would love to go back to work if they had jobs to go back to. There have been over 45 million unemployment claims over the past few months, and according to Jerome Powell, 14 million jobs are gone forever. So how are people going to go back to work and collect that paycheck? Unfortunately, the Senate has been focusing on one piece of data to delay the process of getting a second stimulus check. That's the unemployment rate. If they think that the unemployment rate goes down, then Americans are living the life that they were before and everything should be fine and they shouldn't get a second stimulus check. According to this, June's unemployment data is scheduled to be released July 3rd. So when we get the June's unemployment data, if the unemployment rate went down, then they're probably going to make more excuses that everything is fine and we don't need another stimulus check, which is completely false because there's so many other factors that determine whether Americans need stimulus checks besides the unemployment rate. And coincidentally, when the June unemployment report comes out July 3rd, the Senate is actually going on a 17-day vacation from July 3rd until, July 17th is a Friday, they get back on the 20th. So that's 17 days that they will be out of the office. They should not take this vacation. With so many Americans suffering, they should hold off on this and they should go in the office and put in work so that they could help the American people. Because once they get back on July 20th, they have a couple of weeks and then they're off for almost another month in August. But the good news is that the White House is in support of a second stimulus check, and throughout the past few weeks, many White House representatives have said that they support a second stimulus check, including President Trump. So yesterday there was an interview and President Trump said that the next stimulus check is going to be very generous, and he actually gives a date. So here's exactly what he said. Rather than play you the clip, I'll just go over the transcript and cut through the fluff and tell you exactly what he said. So the reporter asked, are you going to get them a second stimulus check? President Trump says, yeah, we are. Then when asked when, President Trump said, it'll be very good, it'll be very generous. And then the reporter asks how much, and he says, you'll find out. Then the reporter asks again, when are you going to do it? Because we all want to know when. President Trump says, I think it's going to be over the couple of weeks, probably. So this is the closest we've ever gotten to any type of timeline, according to President Trump or anybody. And I believe President Trump is telling the truth with this. The reason why is because elections are just a few months away. And for him to give a timeline of a few weeks, with elections coming up in a few months, people won't forget that he said this. Besides waiting for the second stimulus check for help, there's a lot of different states, cities, towns, and counties that are offering their own versions of stimulus checks as well as rental assistance, utility programs. I have a link down in the description below, completely free. I compiled a list of a lot of these states that are offering the programs. It's over 20 of them. You could get it completely free in your inbox. If you want to watch more second stimulus check updates, you could click this playlist right over here. And if you want to learn the 5 basic strategies of how to get started with investing in the stock market, you could click this video right over here. It's on my other channel, Why Sense, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care, be safe. Thank you for watching.